Hey guys, I'm Lantz Wheeler with Baseball Think Tank, and today I wanted to share with you something that I've learned, but the best part is I'm going to show you exactly how you can give your son an unfair advantage, how every time he steps on the field you can stack the odds in his favor and put him in a win-win situation. But the best part is you need to know nothing about hitting or pitching or whatever you're working on, and you need to eliminate any and all instructions. In fact, my son is currently 4 years old and he will not receive one single instruction until he's 12 or 13. I'm going to share with you why. Unfortunately, I learned this the hard way. Well, having two girls, being the oldest and the youngest son, I learned how not to do it. And over the past few years as I've worked with Major League Baseball pitchers, I've noticed something that really changed my focus and it changed my direction in development, and that's what I'm going to share with you. So today I'm going to leave with you, you're going to be able to take home with you a plan that you can put into action today, and it's going to be something that's going to last over the next several years to come. Do you know the 5 most important words you could ever say to your son? I'm going to help you right there. It's as hard as you can. Now, there are other ways to describe the intent, but the relationship, the terminology that we use, that my son and I use, is as hard as you can. Throw it as hard as you can. Swing it as hard as you can. And the reason why that's important is I'm simply stating a goal. I'm not telling him how to do it. I'm just giving him an example, or I'm giving him a goal of do it as hard as you can. It doesn't matter, because what you're going to find out anytime that I can state that goal clearly, it's something that he can control. He doesn't have to worry about instructions from me or trying to please me. It's throw it as hard as you can, swing it as hard as you can, and no matter what happens, no matter the results, he's being put in a win-win situation, because it's all about praising the intent versus the results, because the results he has no control over. The process of swinging as hard as he can, he's got total control over. So he starts to associate swinging as hard as you can as winning, and you're going to see later in the video how that shows up in the swing. Now, the concept of intent was something that was introduced to me by Paul Nyman. It's something that I use every single day, and it's something I learned from my Major League Baseball pitchers. That we've got several guys that are 97, 98, 99 miles an hour, and you ask them, how do you throw so hard? It never fails that they'll say, well, I've always tried to throw it as hard as I can. Justin Grimm of the Chicago Cubs told me that when he was little, he would play outfield, and his only goal was to see if the ball was hit to him. He wasn't trying to get the runner out. He was trying to throw it over the backstop. Neil Ramirez, the closer with the Cubs, was the same exact way. It was throw it as hard as you can. So whenever kids start to learn that concept at an early age, it shapes their motor patterns. It's all they know. It's how they throw the ball. They associate it in one gear, and that's as hard as they can throw it. So that's why you're going to see kids early in life that throw it as hard as they can start to develop velocity. And to me, in my experience, teaching intent at a later age is just very difficult to do. So that leads me to my next topic. One reason why I think we've got it backwards is at a young age, we stress skill over ability. Now let me show you or share with you what I'm talking about there. Ability, throw it as hard as you can. Your kid, no matter how old he is, he controls that. Now, if you ask your son or young player to throw the ball in the strike zone, that's a little bit tougher. If you ask your son to pull the ball, that's a little bit tougher. But the ability he can control, the skill he can't. So we can't stress skill yet. It doesn't matter. And that's a mistake that I made. And here's an example. With my oldest daughter, I was stressing, trying to catch the ball. So what would I do? I would take the ball and I would flip it to her. Without knowing what she was doing was she was starting to see how I threw the ball. She started to associate throwing the ball like this. And so what do you think she got when she was 12 or 13 years old? She throws the ball like that, simply because I was stressing skill over ability. And that's not the same mistake that I'm going to make with my youngest son. In fact, when he and I throw, I'll take the ball. I know he's not going to catch it, so I'll take it. I'll throw it as hard as I can, 10, 15 feet to his left. And what do you think he does back to me? He gets the ball and repeats or emulates what he sees myself doing. So what we've got to think about with these young kids, one, we've got to think with the end in mind, and we've got to work backwards. It's not about winning right now. Who cares? If your greatest accomplishment is at 6 years old or 15 years old, that's probably not our goal. So we want to think that we're trying to develop these guys. We're working at 16, 17 years old wherever we would like them to go. We're putting together a plan today to start in that direction. So forget about winning, forget about skill. Let's focus on ability, and let's really stress the importance of intent in putting these kids in a win-win situation. All right, in this example, I want to demonstrate the difference between skill and ability. With my oldest daughter, whenever I would focus on trying to throw to her, I would throw it this way. She associated it with catching. So with Rex, what I've done is originally I would take a balloon, I would tie a string to it, I would hold it over his head, I would actually control it to where he would just reach and grasp and be able to grab the balloon. I did it for a couple of reasons. One, because he could catch it, but two, I wanted to teach him to take his hands to the ball. So as he progressed and his motor skills developed, I would actually start to move it down from a balloon without a string to maybe a basketball to this ball to this ball. And then with hitting, I did the same thing. What I would do with hitting, I would use a big barreled bat, and then we would progress to a smaller barrel bat, and we would take, maybe it was a balloon, maybe it was a basketball, maybe it was a soft, one of those Easter balls. It doesn't really matter, but a couple of things started to happen. Is one, the bat would make a louder noise. He played off the louder noise, meaning that he wanted to hear it louder, so he would actually start to swing harder. It was the sound influencing his swing. But two, it was just impossible to miss. Whenever I take a large ball, I take the large bat, he couldn't miss it. But again, that wasn't the goal. The goal was to swing it as hard as you can, but anytime you can place them in a win-win situation, you're going to see their love for the game starts to increase. You're going to see more smiles on their face. You're going to see instant success, because it's all about putting these kids in a win-win situation. Now, as he started to be able to control it, we would actually start to move down to a smaller bat. And with the smaller bat, again, it was the same goal. Swing it as hard as you can. And we would actually do different things. I started to test if he would start to go long with his hands. Instead of giving a cue or instructions on how to do it, I would simply take a larger ball, throw it inside, and the swing would start to adjust or be influenced just based on the location of the pitch. All right, in this video, what I was testing with Rex right here is you're going to see on the left, it's a swing and miss, and the hands start to get outside the body. So my test with this was to simply, instead of giving instruction, tell a 4-year-old, keep your hands inside the ball, I simply took the ball and threw it in closer to his body. So let's watch the one on the left. You'll see he swings and misses. And by the way, anytime I'm working with him, our high fives, the loudest praise comes when he swings and misses, because I don't want him to associate that just putting the ball in the play is the goal. It's the process. It's what you can control of swinging it as hard as you can. It's something he can control. So I'm going to give him praise every time he does it. Now on the right, I simply took the ball and I threw it in closer to his body. So you're going to see the difference in the swing. So let's watch this in slow motion. We'll compare the two. And you can see the difference. There was no instruction. It was just a simple cue. My man on the left fell down, so he got plenty of praise with that. All right, in this video, this is going to be Rex. It's on the same day. You can see, obviously, it's the same uniform. But on the left, he's going to receive instruction from Grandma. As simple as it may sound, he's being told to take the bat off his shoulder. On the right, he's got a simple goal, hit a home run. He associates that because that's his language of just hitting the ball hard. So we're going to watch in slow motion first. Again, on the left, he's receiving instruction. On the right, he's given an external goal just to hit the ball as hard as he can. Now we're going to watch this in some, slow motion. Here we go. He's been told to take the bat off his shoulder. So there's a difference. As small as it may seem, you have to realize that any type of instruction splits the brain's duty. He's trying to please what Grandma says. He's trying to hit the ball versus just a single goal of hit it as hard as you can. So what I really would like to stress to you is let's eliminate instruction, because instruction is confusing. These cues that we use are confusing. If I ask you what does stay back mean, and the 2,000 other viewers that are probably watching this video right now, everyone would have a different interpretation. So it's confusing. Not only are we asking this young kid with limited motor control to hit a ball, but we're asking him to do it in a way that we view as pleasing. So we're constantly setting these kids up to fail, and it's something you've really got to be conscious of. So state the goal clearly, eliminate any and all instruction, and let's just make it fun. Let's put these kids in a win-win situation. All right, now you can see this is about a week and a half later. We went to the smaller bat, and what we were testing right here is just how he would swing with a tennis ball versus a wiffle ball. And you're going to find with the tennis ball, it goes further versus a wiffle ball. So we'd start with the wiffle ball. That's going to be seen on the right. little 3D action. And then on the left, you're going to see the actual tennis ball. Now with the tennis ball, he preferred the tennis ball simply because it would start to go further. Not a hitting guy, but you can see with the tennis ball, he was trying to lift the ball up in the air. And it was a different swing simply because we had put a base out there. We said, hey, hit it past second base, and that was the swing. So you can do this a variety of different ways. You can go from different bats to different balls. Another good way is just like the wiffle balls that you can get that go a little bit further. Obviously, he's going to like that a little bit more because he's going to be able to hit home runs. He's going to be able to hit it further. But again, the goal is to never, ever praise the results. It's all about the intent. When I go the craziest, when I high five, when I show excitement, is when he swings and misses, simply because I want him to know that it's all about what he controls. It's the intent. It's not about the results. I don't want to constantly high-five him when he's hitting the ball a long way, because when he doesn't hit the ball a long way, well, then he feels like he failed and he's got no control over that. So, all right, now that you've seen what I've learned, the lessons I've learned the hard way, do me a huge favor. Share this videos with others. If you found this video on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our channel because we're going to be constantly putting out new information. But primarily, together we can start to change the culture of baseball. We can start to eliminate a lot of the nasty, negative stuff that goes on inside travel baseball and high school baseball. We can start to place our kids in a win-win situation. But at the same time, we can really enhance their development by stating the goal clearly. We can get away from the dad-son confrontation and all the nasty things that's going along with baseball. So do me a favor, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave a comment below, because I'd really like to hear your thoughts on how you're using this or any ideas that you might be able to share that could help me and Rex. But thanks for watching. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel and you share some of your comments and ideas.